What's up, comic book fans? It's the man whose ring runs on fanboy energy. It is the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse figure of the most electrifying man in cinema today. It is The Rock as Black Adam. It is an exciting time as we enter a new phase of DC films and McFarlane Toys. They are right on time with their offerings. So for mint on card collectors, let's take a closer look at the package details now. On the bottom front of the packaging, it says DC Multiverse, and we get this very reflective lettering with the movie title. On this side of the packaging, the figure is identified as the titular character from the upcoming movie Black Adam. We get a partial window on the opposite side where we can see the accessories, and on the top we get another partial window. On the back, we get this incredibly powerful looking shot of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson as Black Adam. Through the front window, we can see the lightning effects off to the side, as well as the card behind the figure. And at the figure's feet, there is the peg base. And of course, here is The Rock as Black Adam. But I can wait no longer. Now I think it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. Here is the figure free of the outer packaging, but still in the inner plastic. Here is the peg base with the DC Comics logo. Here is the trading card that comes with the figure, and it features this really excellent shot of The Rock as Black Adam. On the back, we get a brief bio of the character. If you'd like to read the entire biography, go ahead and pause the video and do so now. And here we see Black Adam out of the package and ready to rumble. This is a really outstanding figure. There is so much to like about it. I didn't hesitate for a moment when I saw it. I only have a couple of small criticisms, but let's go ahead and take a closer look at the loose details now. Here is a look at the lower body, and there is so much superb texturing here. You can see these like segmented shin guards. Those look really good. All the detail on these. Here on the foot, you can see all these little different sections. There's a midfoot hinge, by the way, as well as good pivoting. So you can easily get the figure in a sturdy pose. Also, if you want to get the figure in a flying pose, you can get his ankle to go back that far very easily. You can see all of these various texturing patterns on the leg here. And you can feel these too if you run a finger over it. There's a lot of just superb sculpting work that has been done here. Double jointed knees. So you can get his leg to go back that far, and that's really impressive. So if you want to get him into a running pose, you certainly can. So I only have one criticism of the lower body, and that has to do with hip articulation. You can get him to kick out to the side this far, so I certainly appreciate that. You can also get him to step back, so I certainly appreciate that as well. But when it comes to getting him into a front kicking motion, you really can't get him into much of that pose. That's as far as he goes. Same with this leg. So that certainly could have been better, but at least in 2 of the 3 directions that you would want to move his legs, McFarlane did a good job with the articulation. That being said, I'd like to point out this intricately detailed hip piece. This is actually a very pliable piece that you can move around, and that frees up the legs a little bit. You can see all the details on these like crisscrossing belts. They really look like metal, like old aged metal. So I certainly appreciate that. As you can see with the torso, despite the fact that Dwayne Johnson is wearing this very thick movie costume, you can still see his astounding musculature underneath. You can see how well the pectorals stick out of the costume here. They've been sculpted very well. Here's a look at the latissimus dorsi, these massive trapezius muscles here. And despite all that, the texturing with the costume runs all the way through. You can see it underneath the armpits. In every little point of this figure, you see this just very intricate, magnificent texturing. And another thing I really appreciate about this figure is this symbol has been done in a way, first of all, it's sculpted here. You can feel the edges of it. But the end of it is separated from the bottom part of the torso. So when you articulate the figure, it doesn't separate the symbol. And that's really innovative on the part of McFarlane. In terms of overall articulation, it's really outstanding. He is limited in just one direction. Now, he has this lower abdominal hinge, and you can get him to crunch forward that much, but you feel a little resistance from the belt here. But when you get him to rock back, you can see just how far back he goes. So that'll be very helpful in getting him into a flying pose. There's also this massive amount of articulation with the torso here in the upper part of the torso. Get a better shot there. You can see this upper torso hinge and just how much range of motion that gives him. So that is very impressive. Here's a close-up of the fists, and as nice as these are, I really would have preferred at least one set of alternate hands, maybe open palms or one hand where he is pointing. So here's a close-up of the lightning accessories, and you just snake these fists in here, and let me show you how those look on the figure. So here is the figure with the lightning accessories, and I've got to say these look really impressive. I would really like to see what McFarlane would do with the accessories if they decided to release a 2011 Green Lantern movie commemorative figure. Wouldn't you like to see that too? No? Just me? Okay. Here's a look at the head sculpt, and this is very well executed. The skin tone looks very realistic, as you can see. They got all these huge muscles in his neck connecting right underneath the head sculpt. You can see the definition in the cheekbones, all of these wrinkles that have been sculpted in. The eyebrows look good. Here's the back of the head, and you can see all the detail there. Here's a look at the profile. And yeah, there's really not much to complain about in terms of aesthetics. In terms of articulation, you can get him to look side to side. You can get him to look up. You can get him to look down. And he has this beautiful head tilting here. I'm very appreciative of that. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend to do the same. Stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Multiverse Musings Vidcast, available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back to the internet with more comic book related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.